This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
And you've been warned. Yes, it is the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. The long week for Charity Brown continues. Hey, I never did find out. What was it you were trying to tell me there during the air? At one point, I had my headphones on purpose because I didn't want to hear it. You never did tell me what that was afterwards.
I forget now. What were we talking about?
I can't remember. It was earlier today.
I see it was really important to you.
Something to do with
if it wasn't important to you then, it's not important to you now.
I think it had to do. No, it's important to me now, but at the time,
no, you were angry.
I wasn't angry.
You were pulling a Charity because that's what I do when I want it. When I'm done, I just put my headphones on.
I'm frustrated with you, and I'm going to put on my headphones.
We're not talking about this anymore. What were you even frustrated about?
I don't know, but you were carrying on about something. It didn't matter to me. Can't remember what it was. We'll take it out on the podcast.
And that's our relationship in a nutshell.
And that's the whole show right there. How much fun was that?
There was something else you made a comment about, and I did admit to, I wasn't listening when you said that until later, and then it dawned on me. That's what you were talking about. Okay. The one commercial we heard. Yeah. You referenced it, and it totally went over my head until about 10 minutes later. I was like, oh, that's what he was talking about. So it goes both ways.
Yeah,
you ignore me, I ignore you.
And that's the secret to getting along for 5 years on the air together. That's right. Again, it's never things you have in common. It's just the fact that overall, we don't get along.
I think we do just fine. We went golfing earlier this week, and today we're heading over to McDonald's. So I'm pacing myself.
Good time today. That's right. Small bursts of cooperation goes a long way. World Alzheimer Day today. I remember when it was coffee break day. Remember that?
Yeah, which was only a few years ago.
Wasn't long. I think that's how it started. Maybe 20 years ago, and then Krispy Kreme donuts got in on it.
I was going to say maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
No, it was a long time ago. But then McDonald's really picked up the slack on that and said, let's make it bigger.
You've been doing this longer than I have.
I've been doing this a very long time. Extremely long time.
So they've partnered with McDonald's to make it bigger, as you just said. And that's what we're doing today. We're selling coffees and collecting donations.
And why is it important that we do that? Tricia and Amelia joined us from the office of the Alzheimer Society this morning.
It's had a long history. We've been doing this for over 6 years now with our local McDonald's. And, caffeine in moderation can be great for our health and our mental health. So there's many good reasons to get out and get a cup to support your local Alzheimer's Society.
So 50 cents from every medium, large, or extra large coffee and hot McCafe beverage today, purchased at McDonald's here in Belleville, but also Quinte West, Picton, or Madoc, donated to the Alzheimer's Society of Hastings-Prince Edward. Where's that money going to?
So all of that money stays 100% local in the communities to help run our support groups, our memory cafes. We have a partnership with the local YMCA to do a Minds in Motion. We have in-home activation. We have many programs running that need the funding. We are less than 40% funded, so events like this, really help keep the lights on, help our staff get out there and do the work that we do in the community.
Yeah, Tricia and Amelia join us from the local Alzheimer's Society. And so come on out to McDonald's because, a bunch of us are going to be there. What do you have planned?
Well, we're going to be on site at all of the local McDonald's. We're going to have decals inside where folks can make a donation and write their name. And we will also be collecting donations in the drive-thru with our staff and volunteers from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. today.
Okay. Now, you say that all the locations, including the McDonald's, Dundas Street East here in Belleville, because that's where we're going to be.
That's the spot.
Okay.
It's going to be a real party on Dundas.
Oh, does it have to be the spot?
Now, I've warned Mark, we always say when we go to McDonald's, he can't get into any vehicles. He can't go through any windows. But
that's where all the change is.
But we're going to be in the drive-thru, I take it.
Yes, absolutely. And
okay.
I'm sure Mark will be on his best behavior.
Yes,
always.
I will be. Thank you, Trish. Thank you. You know.
No, it's so nice, too, because you have the tap, right? That comes in so handy when people go through the drive-thru.
So we will have a square reader at our North Front location if anyone wants to make a bigger donation as well. We will have our QR codes So on your phone, you're able to just scan that QR code, and it will take you right to the Alzheimer's donation page to make a donation right to the local Alzheimer's Society.
All right,
Perfect.
cool mornings that we've had this week. So get out there and get your hot beverages and help the local Alzheimer's Society. Thank you so much for helping out, and we know you'll earmark that money for great stuff in the community. Congrats on a coffee day with the Alzheimer's Society and McDonald's.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you later this morning.
See you soon.
Absolutely.
So we will be heading out this morning later to actually, once we wrap this up, with the magic of radio, we'll be able to head down this morning and do our part, and I'll try to keep you reined in. Although I say that, that's what people want. They want you on the loose. They want you off leash. They want you jumping in cars. They want you talking to people and smiling and working that charm.
As you say, ass-hatting around.
Yes.
Out there.
That's what they're hoping for.
I don't think that's what the Alzheimer's Society is hoping for, and I certainly don't think McDonald's enjoys it.
If it gets them donations,
that's true.
I think they're more than happy. And that's exactly what it'll do. Because Kim Richardson this morning, I don't know if she had to think about this morning's answer, but she calls in to hear you ass-hatting around.
I don't know. Is that true?
Yeah, she said it. She said it on the air this morning.
I'm going to put that to the test when female drivers come up. And I'll just turn it on and see what happens.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll watch
I'll keep track.
We'll watch that happen.
Okay.
Because I don't know the signs.
See,
So I'm a man. Men don't know the signs. When they're just being polite, when they're flirting, when you've made an impression, I don't know the signs. I'm a guy. Most men, we don't know the signs. We can't tell. Women can tell.
That is not true.
No, I can't tell.
You can totally tell.
I have read surveys online
and
where
guys
it's like
can tell.
83% of men can't tell the difference.
Don't generalize.
They don't know.
Guys know. You guys pretend you don't, but you do.
I can't tell the difference when a woman is just being friendly or polite and flirting. Like serious intent to flirt, can't tell the difference.
And then she's not doing it right.
Okay. All right. Are you different when you flirt than when you're just fun and polite? Are you different?
Yes, I am. Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Because I've never seen it then, because you're one way. Right.
Exactly.
But I'm not with me, but like with anybody. I mean, you're married, so you probably don't. But
I flirt with my husband.
Yeah. But I've never seen what that looks like.
He knows what the signs are.
Okay. Yeah. So he knows the signs. Oh, I know cast signs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's different. Yes.
But I've been out and with people, and they went, "Wow, do you ever make an impression with her?" It's like, really? I don't know the signs. I don't know the signs. So we'll put that to the test of McDonald's. We'll have some fun with that. We'll break some hearts. We'll raise some money.
Because, and they did mention this, I did not realize that they are less than 40% funded. So all funds, they need them.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the funding was that low. I thought they got more funding than that for their programs because they're so important to the families that need them. My family has been touched by Alzheimer's, and I know that even though the family member never lived in Belleville, it's a relative of my wife's, so she has sought out the programs here in Belleville to learn how to be more aware of, well, it was her mother. How to help her mom, but also help herself, I'm sure. Yeah, they were great. It's not, never did they say, well, no, your mother doesn't live in Belleville, therefore our resources are not available. No, come on, give me a break. Of course, they were very helpful. They were great. But that's just it, too. And I've spoken to people from the society in years past. It's not just the person who has dementia or Alzheimer's, but it is their family. It affects them just as much, if not more, because not only are you now usually primarily the caregiver, but you're dealing with so much more. And especially when it comes to a parent. Like, that's your parent. And then all of a sudden, it's not your parent. And how do you deal with that? How do you help them, but also help yourself through that? Yeah. Those challenges in that journey. It's awful. I have no way of fact-checking what I'm about to say, but when has that ever stopped me before? But I really think the Alzheimer's is there 99% for the caregivers, because there's nothing we can do. Exactly. How can we help that individual? We can't. It's about supporting that individual. We don't know what's going on inside. I mean, medically they know, but I don't know the experiences they think. I see the reaction of it, that they think something's going on that isn't, but how can we love them anyway and keep them help safe them through and everything? That's what they're there for. But the toll it takes on that person, on the family. Yeah. It's It's awful.
Yeah.
It is. It's truly awful.
So thank heavens are
the
there.
things we can do to help.
Yep.
We're
Everything
happy
we
to
can.
do.
Happy to do that. So, Tricia and Amelia, thanks for being on the show. To all of the staff members and volunteers fanning out around the McDonald's, to all of our friends who own, from our friends Ken Schmidt and the new owners as well of McDonald's in our area. Thanks for everything that you're doing to help them out today. Today is also, what is it, September 21st. My gosh, it's a month to the home and season opener for the Belleville Senators.
It's going to be a big day.
Big day. We had Senior Vice President Brianne Matthews on the show to encourage you to get your tickets. It's going to be a beauty day.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because as it starts getting closer, seats will start selling. And so it's nice now there's like a kind of more of a selection as, we just finished selling season tickets and moved into Flex. And so there's quite a few good seats available right now. So
what does the base look like for seasons tickets base? How does it look?
It's good, yeah. So we've built on the last couple of years coming out of COVID. We're back up to kind of almost where we were 2019, 2020 that season, but keeps growing. There was a lot of interest over the summer, which was great. A lot of new season ticket holders coming in, and we had around an 80% renewal rate of season ticket holders coming back. So, we're really happy with how we're looking heading into the season, and
That's great retention. Often 70% is a pretty good figure for any kind of renewals of any kind. So
yeah, to have 80, that's great.
Really good. Look, 1 month to go now until the home opener. It's part of an entire day celebration. What's in store?
Yeah, so we love the first home game of the season, really kicking off in style and welcoming everyone back to CAA Arena. And we partner with CAA every year to throw a fan fest so that fans can come, and there's a red carpet from 4 to 6 p.m. Where all of our players come through and sign autographs, and that's right where our box office is. And there's always a big lineup of people there, and it's really exciting. The players love it, meeting the fans and kind of being welcomed back into the friendly city. And then in our gymnasium, we have a magic show, we have carnival games, there's giveaways. CAA has a bunch of giveaways for CAA members, which is really exciting, including hot dogs and soft drinks. And, there's just a lot of fun going on. There's a CAA members lounge held in the atrium space where there's a private meet and greet for CAA members with players that are on the roster this season. And then we kick it all off in CAA Arena starting at around 6 o'clock. There's more giveaways and fun. Right before puck drop, we introduce, our fans to our new coaching staff. We have some new coaches in this year, and our support staff, and kind of everyone that makes the team on the ice run on the day-to-day, which is really awesome.
Which is great. Brianne Matthews, Senior Vice President of the Belleville Senators, on the show with Mark and Charity.
Now, you mentioned some of these giveaways. Did I see somewhere, Brianne, that everyone who attends gets a cowbell?
Yes. So CAA, and this is kind of a bit of a throwback. We heard, the first couple seasons we didn't have noisemakers in the arena. And we heard from fans, they were so used to those phenomenal days with the Bulls and bringing their cowbells. And we were like, okay, what can we do? We have to bring this back. It's so fun. And so CAA partnered with us. We started allowing cowbells and some other noisemakers a couple years ago. And last year, CAA started giving out these small cowbells to CAA members in game. And so this year they thought, we're going to let everyone get in on the fun. These cowbells are so adorable. They're really cute. They're not super loud and obnoxious. They're just really fun to have. And so every single attendee at the game will receive a CAA cowbell.
That's
awesome.
So good.
You need more cowbell. You can never have too much cowbell.
Yeah, exactly. It's like whenever anything is wrong, just add more cowbell.
Exactly, and it makes it better. And it really, the atmosphere just changes. You hear the bells going, and it's so exciting.
And I think it's just part of hockey, right?
Exactly.
Especially that community hockey feel, which that's really what we are. We're a professional hockey team, but we're here for, the Bay of Quinte region and, for all those minor hockey teams and youth growing up looking and thinking, okay, when is it going to be my chance to make it in the NHL? And, we're here to support that. And so it's just really exciting to kind of have this community feel. Everyone can be part of it. It's super inclusive, and we're really excited about it.
Home opener just 1 month away. Tickets are available, right?
Yes, so we have a brand new website with a ticket hub on it, so BellevilleSens.com. And you can also, if you're interested in group tickets or a flex pack to grab, best value for a couple of games, you can email tickets@bellevillesens.com.
October 21st, the Belleville Senators kick off their season at home against the Laval Rockets, 7 o'clock. Make sure your butt is in that seat with your cowbell. Get your tickets now. Don't wait. Thank you so much, Brienne.
No, thank you guys. Have a great day.
Big time cowbells back.
Oh, it is really fun. I talk about the atmosphere changing when you have the bells, but the entire atmosphere that day is so much fun. We took the boys 2 years ago to the Fan Fest. We weren't able to go last year, but we went to the home opener a couple of years ago, and it's just fun. Like the excitement, and they got to meet the players. We are CAA members, so we were in the CAA lounge area, which was so cool. I think I told you I had to kind of show the boys because a couple of guys would come out, they'd go up and talk to them. Well, then a couple more people would come out. I'm like, okay, now go back. They didn't understand. Like, if you stay in line, you'll see everybody instead of going back and forth. Like, just stay in line. Go back. But it's having that accessibility to them. Like, you can talk to them, and they're huge.
They're enormous.
They're big on the ice, but even off the ice, it's like, holy crap, you guys are big men. And then a little snacks. Andy Forgy happened to be there the last time we went. I don't know if he's there this time, but they have live entertainment, lots of activities for the kids going on in the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center. It's just a fun afternoon and evening.
They're going to have stuff going on in the gymnasium.
Yes.
And the CAA arena is just going to be rocking when Laval gets there. As Brienne mentioned, once again, 4 o'clock it starts.
Yes.
Till 6. Then they want everybody in the arena for all of the player introductions and sponsor introductions. And
it's going to be a
pick up your
big
cowbells. And,
show.
oh, it's a big show going on. So you can get your tickets. They're available now. BellevilleSens.com, the revamped website, will give you that opportunity to get your tickets for that. If you'd still like to get information on season tickets, you can. 80% retention rate, so
pretty cool.
When you hear that, it's like, okay, great value, must be fun. Yeah, great way to spend your winter. Make sure you're going out a couple nights a week. Sometimes when they go to Winnipeg and you don't get a game for a week, that's such a bummer. It's like when they're on the Winnipeg tour. Oh, my God. The Manitoba Moose stop. Like, they must look at that schedule and say, damn it, why
can't
January?
we do this in
why do we
October?
Have to go to Manitoba in January?
Or wait, can't we go like the end of March?
Right, like make it the last 2 games before April.
End of the season.
Thank God. Thank you, AHL scheduler.
Nope, you're going to go in January.
Why do you hate us?
My parents switched their seats, so they're season ticket holders.
Oh,
so
I love their seats.
Well, that's why last year they switched them up to where we usually go next to our box, and
where the great unwashed sits. Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love those seats. So that's where they are again, right? But above, because the players that aren't playing, like the scratches or the visiting team, and some of the guys are sitting out. That's where they sit.
That's so smart.
They sit up. So quite often, my parents are sitting with some of the guys. It's kind of cool.
And the guys lean over and they tap your mom and they say, "Hi, Joanne."
Yeah. Can your husband quiet down a bit?
Yeah. And then she turns around. Are you boys eating well?
Exactly.
Are you guys practicing? Have you called your mothers in a while? Call your mothers. Oh, Mrs. Brown, stop it, you season ticket holder.
But it is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
They enjoy it, and you will too, so get your tickets.
Coming up tomorrow on the show, Jimmy Hollywood's going to have rumors, whether you like it or not. The man today on the show said, do not go to movies. You'd think you would never hear that.
I was shocked. I didn't know what to say to that.
I know. He's mad at everybody. And being a writer, so I side with
the
writers, because I understand that they pour their heart into it and they just want to be protected.
You want to be protected, but also compensated. Like, you deserve.
Properly compensated, that's all.
Yes. The acknowledgement.
Yep, and the protection.
For your work.
Especially with AI.
Yes, absolutely.
So AI takes a look at everybody else's work and then sends you back the best of that work. Well, how are they getting compensated for it?
Mm-hmm.
Like today's Stephen King's birthday. So if I wanted to write a horror novel, I would go home and I would put into whatever the AI program I have, and I'm going to put, cemetery, children, pets, Halloween, rainy day, Maine, and it would come back and it would sound like
Halloween.
Or it would come back sounding like Pet Cemetery. And then I were to, what am I going to go sell that? And Stephen King doesn't have the right to say, what did you do? I didn't write it. It comes, so they just want protection that this stuff isn't going to happen in movies and television, that, you're not.
I never realized how much Hubie Halloween sounds like Pet Cemetery, the way you just described it.
I know, right? I know. And I'm not saying they ripped it off.
No, I'm not either by any
But
means.
somebody who wants to start writing something would take advantage of AI to literally steal from the best of everybody else. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to protect them? That's all they're saying to the studio heads, is we want our work to be protected. Well, you go out and you hear Barbie makes $1 billion. You don't have a couple dollars more for me. That's all they're saying. So, okay, whatever. So he comes out, don't go to the movies. Attaboy, Jimmy.
There's nothing going on.
Nothing happening.
Don't go.
But yeah, they got to settle that pretty soon for everybody involved.
I think now we're starting to really see the effects. It's unfortunate because those who have been on strike have been feeling the effects for the last few months.
That's right.
But the rest of us now are feeling the effects. So I do think the pressure is on now, and people will start to make some decisions here shortly.
Hey, let's really get on a soapbox. You ready for this?
All right.
And you mentioned it too. Look how the Toronto Blue Jays are in a playoff hunt in late September.
I don't think I mentioned this.
And they're getting 19,000 a games. Do you remember
you brought this to my attention, yes.
Okay, it was me. Hard to believe. Do you remember when they set the attendance record one year at 4 million people because they sold out?
When Bautista and Donaldson.
No.
You mean that time?
No, I'm taking it back to Joe Carter and Devon White winning World Series in 92 and 93.
Okay.
And they sold out every single game.
As they should.
Couldn't get a ticket. Then the strikes came, and then the doping allegations came.
There was a bit of a lull. Mm-hmm.
And then people learned to live without baseball, and it hasn't come back.
Well, but again, I think when Bautista and Donaldson were there, I remember that. And that wasn't that long ago. That was in the last 10 years. But when they were all in town, and I say town, in Toronto, and there was that buzz again. And they did go far that year, and it was sold out. And you tried to get a ticket. Now, prices were still pretty reasonable too.
Right.
But they did have a full house. Even during the week, people would go because they were having fun, and that was evident. And people were having fun watching them. They were winning, yes, but in a fun, it was a very interesting group. It made me want to go to ball games, and I'm not a baseball fan, or I wasn't at that time. I wanted to go because it was infectious. It was just, it drew you in, and they were doing really, really well. I don't know what's happened since then, but it's gone down, yes. And you and Wayne both pointed out to me recently, like, where is everybody?
Yeah. The point I'm making is if you make it possible for people to get by without you,
yes, they will.
It's harder to pull them back. Yeah. So Hollywood, if you give them something to do, then look forward to the new television series that come out in September, because there aren't any, or movies because you're not making them. Don't expect everybody to come flocking back just because you give us the same retreaded stories under different titles. Watch.
Exactly.
So
because I wouldn't say it was until that group that I just mentioned came back to the Jays that it really started the momentum again.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that again. And how long was that? 15, 20 years?
And it used to be you just sell it regardless of who is on the field because you like baseball. Yep. And then all of a sudden I realized maybe I don't like baseball. And then...
And it's the same with the writers. You're right. Because if they don't pull up their socks here and get this settled soon...
Yep.
Because how many have turned to streaming? And just watched. Right now, I'm watching shows that are 4 or 5 years old, going back to some of the ones I enjoy, but finding other ones I haven't had time to watch. And I'm watching them. And it sucks now because I'm at the end of some of them and I'm waiting for the next season. But I'm revisiting or finding other things.
Like you can start reading books again.
And reading books, yes.
Like you'll find other things. All right, I'll start walking. Like we don't just have to do those things that we always did. Don't give people a reason.
And that's what they're doing.
To not miss you.
Yeah.
And then they realize, maybe I don't want to do that anymore.
And I think they will find that.
So
I heard,
dangerous.
What was I was watching or listening to a story this morning, something about foreign content, like bringing in some Italian shows or because you are seeing more and more European shows pop up on the streaming services with the subtitles or they've been dubbed over. Personally, I don't really enjoy that.
Right.
Because the voice doesn't, I don't mind subtitles, but when they dub it over, I'm like, not watching this.
Looks bad.
And if that's what they're going to rely on, it's going to drop more. They're going to realize soon.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So, whether
and the numbers will continue to go down.
Whether we need it or not, it's just the escape, the whole thing. But don't take for granted that everybody loves everything you do.
As Jimmy said, get out and do something else.
Yeah.
Shut it off.
Yep.
And more people will start doing that. And then what's going to happen?
Then both sides will come and talk because they've realized that they don't need us.
Yeah.
We're the escape. And if you're not the escape, we'll see what happens. Well, I remember I can't remember if it was the NFL, somebody went on strike and it was enormous. And companies like down the States, like ESPN, didn't know what to broadcast. So they put on the dumbest thing I'd ever thought. You know what they started broadcasting? What? Poker. And what happened? Poker took off.
People started watching poker.
And now poker on TV is a major thing.
You flip around and there's usually someone carrying it.
Yeah, all of a sudden why would we watch people play cards? And then all of a sudden it exploded. Like people started playing poker again.
People will find something else.
They will find something else. And so now it's like, okay, but we're back. Well, I think we made more money with poker. Thanks. I could still sell ads and I didn't have to spend billions to put your football game on. I can just show a 5-year-old poker championship from Spain. People watch it. Don't give them a reason.
Well, I still wonder why the NHL season's as long as it is. That year they went on strike.
Yeah.
They still fit everything in. So why does it have to go from like September to July? Like why do we need a season that long when clearly we all made it through when they had the strike, one of the seasons where it was a shortened season. They crammed everything in. They still had the cup, and it was done.
It's blasphemy.
I know. I hope my husband doesn't hear that.
Yeah.
But
no, I get the point.
But, we all survived. Everybody was fine.
Yep. 82 games. We need 82.
Yeah. Like, do we? Honestly, do we? I know we all enjoy hockey. Yes, most of us. But at some point, it's kind of like, we can get by without it. We're going to do okay. So you guys either decide to be realistic and get your crap together, or...
Right. Yeah, my big thing is always ticket prices at the big one.
Yeah.
That's what makes the Belleville Senators great. I can drop $30. I can see professional hockey and be home in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
As we said
now
yesterday.
Now try and go see a Leafs game. Do that whole thing in your head.
That's why when the Leafs came, I was so excited. Because Wayne, being the Leafs fan that he is, and Nathan too, it's kind of like, okay, so we can see them. Because to take them to a Leafs game in Toronto.
For 4 people.
Yeah, no. We're talking about the cost of raising kids this morning.
Yeah.
It's the cost of going to a Leafs game.
Yeah, $237,000 or have another child.
Yeah, and that's American. Canadian was like $320,000. That's what it converts to.
Nuts.
It is crazy.
So anyway, that's what's going on in our world today. Again, so Jimmy Hollywood apparently has rumors tomorrow. So that's what we're back to tomorrow. Maybe he does. Maybe it's about the writer's strike. I don't know. We'll find out.
How much you want to bet about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Yeah. Isn't that great? And
I think it's great that Jason, the brother, was the one that said 100% true.
Yeah.
And then he says, but I try to stay out of his business. I'm not involved in his business. Okay. Yep, that's your brother.
Raise your hand if you too, like me, built your fantasy football team around Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, who's the biggest jinx in all of sports.
Is she? I thought it was...
As soon as she leaves the city, their sports teams...
Okay, in that way,
crap the bed.
I was going to say, she doesn't date sports guys usually.
She'll come in to Philadelphia.
That's true.
She'll do 3 shows, leave.
That, yes.
Phillies will lose 6 in a row. The
curse
Flyers
of Taylor
will lose
Swift.
4 of 5. And the Eagles won't make the playoffs. It's like, don't come to Vegas. Remember that whole run? Don't come. Now she's dating the guy who's heading up my fantasy football team.
I don't think it's serious, though. So I think you're okay. I think it's just a bit of fun, and then they'll move on.
Because if it gets serious and he gets his heart broken, I am dead in the water.
No, I don't think it'll. I think it'll just be fun for the two of them.
All right. I sure hope so.
Yeah. She's too busy. He's too busy. He's just starting the season. He's got his focus. She's on tour everywhere. So
he looked just pissed off last week at the game.
Did he?
He kicked the ball.
You said he was kind of
He had a bad, and I thought, did he ask her out and she turned him down? And he doesn't handle that well. I mean, let's face it. Football players have anger issues all the time. They always look like they're mad at
emotional.
everything.
Yeah, they're very emotional.
Very on the sleeves. They're very competitive. I just don't think that it would be fun to honk your horn behind a football player. Like, just don't invite any of that. That's just bad. But now, break their heart? Oh, I don't know. So we'll see. See what Taylor's up to.
He looks like a pretty tough guy, though. I think he can take it.
He's a tough guy. We'll figure that out.
I do like Jason, though. I said this to you. Jason's just, he looks like a big teddy bear.
Yeah, he's the center.
And he's he's the dad, and he's got that home life. And there's a new documentary, Kelce? On Netflix, I believe it's called.
Between the two of them?
Between the two of them.
Oh, that's great.
Because after Super Bowl last year.
I love that story.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just a It's a neat family.
Yeah. All right. So, everybody, thanks for coming around today. Well, there's a half hour well spent.
There we go. Off to McDonald's.
Join us tomorrow because we said so. Mark and Charity Mornings here on 95.5 Hits FM. That went better in rehearsal.